he was trying to push me into the car, and he actually had the trunk wide open. Yeah. I got thrown down onto the ground.
Hello, hello, everybody. This is April Showers. How's everybody doing this fine Tuesday? Well, it's still a little cold and rainy here in Joliet, Illinois. I made it through 428, the day my mom passed, and I made it through her birthday. God is still good. Talk to my brothers and sisters. God is so amazing. Now I need somebody, anybody, to tell me what the heck is going on in Mississippi. Now, my parents come out of Chula, Mississippi. That's in the Delta, close to Lexington, Morgan City. Mississippi. Hey, True Strong, how you doing? Mississippi got some weird stuff going on. I don't know if it's with the water. You know, we had this woman, you know, she shot her husband on Facebook Live. Now, you know, we got 2 women that was shot and killed. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, this is for you, you know, you young folks. You know, y'all say y'all so woke. You know, y'all doing anything for clicks, views, and likes, right? You know, like these people out here in Facebook world really care about y'all arguing, showing your ignorance, and you getting smart and all of this stuff. Like, y'all really think people care. But you know, the new, you know, y'all woke, the woke generation now. Y'all doing everything for clicks, views, and likes, right? So, let me tell you something. See, this is why I don't fool with too many people anymore. And I just stay with my original friends. Because, see, everybody ain't what they appear to be. No way. But, and this ain't what you want over here. Because, see, you come over here, I'm going to do the same thing this woman did. So now, you got 2 cousins. Okay. Now, They arguing with a woman on Facebook Live because this is what you knew woke generation, the younger generation. You know, y'all do everything again for clicks, views, and likes. So, you know, y'all arguing with a woman, two cousins, Carissa Job, and 24-year-old Tatiana Day. Carissa is 33. And this happened in Holmes County in Mississippi. So they arguing on Facebook Live. So they got something to prove to the world, you know. You know, they got something to prove to people that like drama and things like that. So what they do, they get Carissa and Tatiana. Oh, they bad. They bad, right? You know. Oh, they got to go show somebody. They got to prove something. They on Facebook Live. Now, you know, me and my cousins, we was something else back in the day too. Okay, you mess with one, you know, we all was coming. But see, I don't fool with these new age, woke, ADHD, Ritalin, crack babies. Don't believe in nothing and no values, no morals. You know, this the new generation that's coming up now. You know, social media, you know, they got to prove everything, you know, to social media. So, Carissa and Tatiana, they got Facebook Live going on. They jumps in their car. They go over there to the woman's house. They blasted her. That woman blasted them. You go to somebody's house today, talking about confronting them, and you can't make this up. You know, back in our day, you know, people tried to reason each other with each other. Now they just shooting you. You come on my property with your cousin, filming like you the baddest women on social media, and they met her little best friend. She blasted 33-year-old Carissa Job and 24-year-old Tatiana Day. See, for you new woke people, everybody carrying guns now. They ain't afraid to use them. They ain't never been afraid to use them. You come up on somebody's property, you might end up dead. Then you got the nerves to be filming. on Facebook Live. I don't know what to say about this new woke generation, but I will tell you this. You go to their house, they gonna blast you. Clicks, views, and likes. Something is going on in Mississippi. I don't know if it's that bad water. Mississippi is a state that is just not a good state for black people. Now, I do have some relatives down there. They doing great. They're doing great. So all of Mississippi ain't bad, but Mississippi got some demons they holding. Mississippi, it's just weird what's going on down there. All of these Facebook Live shootings. I mean, you start arguing on Facebook Live, then you go over to the woman's house, and she blasts y'all. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? I don't know if these women had children. Clicks, views, and likes. Can someone please talk to this new woke generation and tell them stop arguing on any social media sites? Can somebody say, let's just squash this? Y'all, this ain't looking good, but see, we like drama. Y'all like drama. Like I tell people, this ain't what you want when you come to somebody's house or even on their social media platform. Coming there acting a fool, somebody might blast you. I need the new woke, y'all woke generation. Social media don't mean nothing to you. Is social media going to bring these two women back? They went to another woman's house to prove something on Facebook Live and got blown away. Social media, I'm just not understanding why we think we have to prove something to people on social media. I'm gonna drop the link if anybody wants to come up and talk about this. And then I don't know what's going on in Mississippi. Uh, some weird stuff going on in Mississippi. I don't know. Is it the water? Uh, do y'all need that much attention? Um, I'm trying to understand that something that's meant to be good, why has it become so deadly? I need to understand. The mind like of people now on clicks, views, and likes. Um, of course, with anything good, there's going to be bad. I like social media. It's a way for me to communicate with people, uh, to to you know, I've seen my friends' kids grow up. I have not been able to make it to all events. So I've seen people, kids grow up on social media. It was a way to connect for family get togethers. And people have turned it into, hey, Mary B., how are you?
Hey, Mama, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Mary B. Glad to have you.
Yes, this is crazy, right?
Oh my God, this is crazy. Yeah.
I just think emotions just get involved where and they just get so out of control. And I do see how this can happen because last Tuesday this lady she hit my car on the freeway and she said she didn't have her driver's license with her. She said she didn't have her insurance information. She said her husband takes care of the insurance, and that she would call me later with the insurance information. So she didn't call me later on, so I had to call her. So I called her up, and she was like, "Oh, there were no injuries." I said, "I understand that, but my car needs to be fixed. You hit my car." So
Yeah.
I was like, "I need the insurance information to get my car
Mhm.
fixed." So I had already reported the information to my insurance company just because I kind of had an inkling. I said, "This lady probably don't have no car insurance." Um,
Exactly.
and she was just shaking out of control. And she said she was a psych patient and she was on her way to a psych appointment. And so she was like, I can hear her husband in the background. He was like, "Who's on the phone?" And she was trying to hide. And she was like, "Oh, it's none of your business." And he was like, "I think it is." And so she told me, she goes, "Well, can I call you back?" And I said, "Well, please call me back because I said I need to get my car fixed." And I said, "I really need to get this taken care of." So long story short, she didn't call me back. The next day, I kept calling. The phone, like a phone, kept going to the voicemail. Voicemail was full. So now I'm getting pissed off. I'm getting angry. I start doing investigations. I found her address. I know where she lives. She don't live too far from my job. I'm like, I know where she lives. I want to show. I'm like, I got to pay a $500 deductible to get my car fixed. I mean, it's drivable, but it's like, I'm like, you guys have probably seen the short of my car. My car is a nice car, and I'm like,
Right. I mean, it's your car. I mean, yeah,
so I'm like,
it's your
she
car. You want it fixed. You don't
I
want to
want it fixed,
drive
and
around with a damaged car.
right, and she was doing just driving, just out here driving reckless, and it was an accident that didn't need to happen. And I'm like, she don't live that far from my job. And so I'm like, I want to show up at her house. And everybody's telling me, "Mary, do not go to that lady's house, you know. And they're right. But it's the emotions in me that make me want to go to her house so bad because I'm so mad, you know. I'm so mad that I have to come up out of my pocket $500 to pay my deductible, you know. But and all night last night I had to keep thinking about my son. I had to keep thinking about my baby
Right,
because I
right.
don't need to go to this lady's house. I don't know what guns that she, you know what I'm saying? She might have a gun. She could just,
Girl,
you
ain't
know,
that the truth?
it's not smart for me to go to this lady's house. She can open up that door and shoot me right away, you know.
Shoot you
Um,
right away.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not worth it. The car can be fixed. I have the $500 to get it, you know, to pay the deductible. And my son don't need to be without his mother. And I just think that everybody just needs to, we just need to think. We need to start thinking clearly before we start just hopping in our cars and going over people's houses, you know. we got to grab our emotions. It's just not worth it. This lady here, it's just best for me to go ahead and file a police report with the San Diego
Mm-hmm.
Police Department and let them know that there's an unsafe driver out here and give them all the information that I do have on this lady and then leave it at that, you know.
Right.
Put it in
And
the
then
law.
you can take her to small claims court
Right,
to get the
right,
$500 back.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
You know, and a lot of my coworkers and everybody, they was like, Mary, they was like, you ain't gonna see no money. They was like, you gonna spend all this money and you ain't gonna never probably get it back. And you know where she lives, it doesn't look like she probably has any money. But I was just like, it's just it. You know, I can see where emotions get involved, and these two ladies here, they just let their emotions get the best of them. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, it was something that ended up where their lives was taken. They got over there and they just, you know, and it's a sad situation. It really is,
Mhm. Yeah.
because now they're gone, and then the lady that
Right.
took their lives, her life is ruined. She wasn't thinking she wasn't in her clear mind either, because she's just thinking like, you know what, you at my house, you on my property, and now she's heated, and she's not in her clear mind, and she's just thinking like, I want you out of here. You know what? Okay, well, I'm gonna teach you a lesson, but she's not thinking I'm about to ruin my life for the rest of my life.
Girl, let me tell you something. I don't fool with these new people that much. Cause I ain't
Right,
got the right type of attitude neither.
right,
So we will be having a shootout at the Okie Dokie Corral. Uh,
right.
I don't have it. Mm-mm. You come
No,
knock on this door, this ain't what you want, cause you
right,
know, and 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 that's how life has made people,
right.
because mental illness is
Mhm.
real. We don't know, we dealing with some strange characters out here now. I don't
Sure.
know. I think when they said they were shooting down them Chinese balloons, girl, I still say they sprayed some chemicals on us. I don't know.
You ain't
Something
lying.
going on.
You ain't
Something
lying.
going on. Something is in the air.
You
But
ain't lying.
people trigger happy now.
Yeah, they are.
People
They are.
trigger happy. But you can't halfway blame them. You don't know what we dealing with.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then, they started on Facebook Live, and then you gonna come to my house? Oh, you
Right.
got me messed up. No, that's total disrespect. Like, you
Right.
gonna come to my house filming some stuff? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. You showing up
what
at
is
the house.
wrong with people on
Right.
my property? You gonna come to my house
Right.
filming me, and you think I'ma stand there and I don't know what y'all too capable of doing.
That's the
So
truth.
yeah, I would have blasted them away too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
That's the
mental
truth.
illness is real.
Right.
I mean, boy, I tell you.
That is the
But
truth.
this is what the young people are doing. Uh, like, for clicks, likes, and views.
Yeah, that's right. That is the
So,
truth.
so do you think social media? really warp people's minds?
I think so. I really do.
Okay. Yeah.
I think
Hey, everybody in the chat. Yeah, we're just talking about all of these deletions because you can't say certain words on
right.
YouTube. That's been going on in Mississippi. And two ladies, they started arguing on Facebook Live, and they went to the residence of the lady, and the lady blasted them away. Um, so back in my day, we knuckled up, we fought, and that was it. Then
Right.
shoot.
Well,
Then
Miss April, I
it,
gotta go. I got my
okay,
patient that showed up, but it was
okay.
nice talking to
Thank
you.
you.
Great
Yeah,
topic. Great topic. I hate I can't stay, but I'll get back
yeah.
with you some other time though.
Okay. Thank you for coming up, Mary B.
Oh, no
Thank
problem.
you so much.
You guys have a
Okay.
good day. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it's crazy. I am very concerned now
Yeah.
that
Me too. Yes.
social media people
Yep.
are doing things for clicks, views, and likes in a bad way. Um,
Yeah.
so um, yeah, it's crazy out here. We don't know what we're dealing with now. We really don't. We really don't. It's a little nervous. Hey, I advise people be protected at all times. Carry some mace or a switchblade when you go out now. Be protected. Hold on. Got somebody else. Okay, let me see. Hey, African Dreaming, how are you?
Hey, Miss April Shaw.
Yeah, what's going on? Why
You
people?
still up there?
How you be?
I'm doing all right, Miss April. How you doing? I'm trying to get back to where I can see the chat again.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's a great conversation. Great topic. Real great.
Yeah,
And easy
I'm
enough
just
to point.
trying to. Yeah. What's your thought on it, African? I'm gonna mute my mic and let you talk.
Um, I think it's crazy. I gotta go back and catch everything that Mary said because I was trying to go back and listen and see what y'all was saying and uh, the parts that I caught. It's a really interesting conversation. I it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. That's just my honest opinion. And I still say, and I've been saying this for years, and I believe this with all my heart. I think it's gonna get a lot worse before it get better. I think that denial is easier than acknowledgement and acceptance. I don't think that a lot of people really want to accept the fact that this is bad as it really is, with people ending one another, as you said. I know we got to use certain language on this platform. Uh, I think that it's going to continue in the direction it's going before it gets any better. Uh, I love home. I love where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Hell, people over here ask me where I'm from. Sometimes I say America. Sometimes I just say Texas. You know what I'm saying? I'm a proud
Okay.
Texan. And
Yeah.
I'm look here. I'm looking at. I'm on the outside looking in. So I'm looking at it how the rest of the world look at this. And this once shining city on a hill that everybody wanted to flock to and be a part of and come for education and to attend university and for jobs and all this hope and all of that. I think the last group of people who really gonna accept that ain't what's up no more is my fellow U.S. citizens, because people can think what they want to think. Everybody ain't trying to run there no more like how they used to. Travel advisories from people from countries all over the world saying, you know, telling their citizens, if you visit the U.S., you go at your own risk.
Yeah.
But that don't get talked about. You're not gonna hear that on the evening news. It just is what it is. That's the new reality. I think it's 170 some odd days into the year, and it's been more than that, or however many days it is into the year. It's been more mass, you know what's, than there are
Oh, I
days
know.
in
I know.
right in 2023, and the rest of the world just looking at they, you know, shaking their head like I don't know. It's like other countries are looking at each other like, you gonna tell them? Nah, I ain't gonna tell you. You gonna tell them? Nah, I ain't gonna tell them, because I mean it's been so normalized that that's just another part of everyday life. And when any society gets to that point where the ending of other citizens in such a casual manner and fashion is just another part of everyday life to this degree, I don't know what you do with that. But those are my thoughts, Miss April.
Yeah, my thoughts is like, you know what? I ain't even trying to argue with nobody no more. Let me tell you something. You know, they bump into me at Walmart. They can roll over my toe. I might holler and scream, but I ain't ready to say nothing. I ain't trying to die. It was a time used to be like, can't you say excuse me? Now it's like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, they can have it. Cause you know, I don't
Yeah.
know what I'm dealing with. You can have it now. You can bump into me. I mean, I don't care no more. I don't know.
Right.
I don't want nobody
Right.
blowing me away. No, no. I ain't arguing with nobody no more. They can have it. No, 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 no. I'm trying to live. I ain't trying to die. Yeah. Mm-mm.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, because where I'm currently living is considered a quote unquote third world country, or undeveloped, or lesser than, or a poor country. Man, the quality of life as far as peace goes, as far as like so many other things that don't really seem to matter back in the States, uh, it's mandatory. You're not finna like I, it's just crazy, especially
Um,
being in a situation. Yes, ma'am.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, everybody. African dreaming. I've been following him and his wife for over a year now. Tell people where you live at now, so they'll know. Introduce
We
yourself.
thank you, Miss April. I'm Jay from African Dreaming. My wife and myself, we have we content creators. We have a channel, and we live in East Africa. Matter of fact, we live in Tanzania, Africa, and we we love it. Every day ain't easy. It comes with its own share of challenges, but what it don't come with is constant, day in, day out, excessive unaliving of fellow citizens. Uh, it's just that's just not in the culture. And when it comes to material things, back home has a lot more to offer. I can't think of nothing in the good old US of A that if you got the money and the connections, you can't get your hands on. That ain't the case here. Uh, Infrastructure issues, country roads, simple ways of living that don't appeal to everybody. But you know, it is what it is. It's just like I got a nephew that's 6'2", 230 some odd pounds, almost 240, football player, still work out every day, and I fear for him just because of his stature alone. Just the way he look. Um, I got other nieces and nephews. I worry about them too. Hell, and it ain't no age limit. I worry about my family, parents and all, because you just never know. You could disagree with me, but can't nobody call me a lie if I say folk got to be worried about going to the grocery store. Folk got to be worried about going to church. Folk got to
Ooh.
be worried about going to the post office. Folk got to be worried about accidentally cutting somebody off. You got to be worried about sitting at that red light a little bit too long after the light done changed. It ain't no way you can go ahead, and even in your own house. Even in your own house. So, like, to live like that day in and day out, and so many people see it as normal, that they look at you like something wrong with you when you in a situation where you almost can't deal with the way you gotta live every day no more. That's just my opinion. That's just me, Miss April. That's just me.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I agree, because even with all of the school deletions and everything, you got to think all of those children that have witnessed these school uh can we
Situation.
say
Yeah.
shooting? Yeah, situations. And YouTube don't allow us to say certain words. So
Yes,
um
ma'am. Of course. Of course.
so people have gone to parades. So you figure these kids are gonna grow up and they're gonna be on all kind of these children are traumatized. They're
And,
traumatized.
and you know the double-edged sword with that, Miss April, is on one hand, I agree with you 100% because we got a whole generation that's growing up in complete trauma. It's almost to the extent that I won't say combat trauma, but it's a very intense trauma from what they're experiencing. While simultaneously, on the other hand, we also live in a society where, and rightfully so in some cases, you have a whole nother demographic of people saying, "Oh, everybody's so sensitive. Oh, you can't say nothing without hurting some." And I'm not gonna say that that's not completely true, but to take it a step further and go even deeper, I'm personally a believer that two things can be true. So you have the delivery of a certain level of insensitivity to a circumstance while simultaneously entertaining the fact that there's a whole generation or multiple generations really, but the babies, they the ones that's got to grow up with this being all they know, growing up being constantly traumatized, because you can get online and you can turn on your TV and you can still see football games and basketball games and people laughing and smiling and going to concerts. But what you don't see are the 17 and 18 and 19-year-olds that don't want to go to school, that don't want to leave their house, that don't want to go to no parties, that don't want to do this or do that. I woke up the other morning, man. It's some, unfortunately, some more young people at a prom, at a prom after party. One of them was 16, the other was 17. One male, one female. Gone. Just like that. It's almost like you can't keep count. So I don't have an answer, Miss April. I don't know how you
I
fix
don't have
this.
I would just I don't know. I had been wishful thinking we could go back in the
No,
70s when all of the
no.
families stuck together and we wasn't worrying about what religion somebody was and what political views. People took care of the community, the kids in the community. You respected your elders, even if it was the drunk to anybody. You respected them.
Mm-hmm.
And I see it's not going back to that way. I don't know. It's not the guns. It's the people using the guns. Guns have been around since the beginning of time. But
What? Yes, ma'am. Miss Patty,
What-
I mean not Miss Patty. I see Miss Patty in the chat. Hey, Miss Patty. But Miss April, I agree with you, and I think that your acknowledgement is the first step to any form of reformation that could possibly exist. Because in order to address a situation, I think what you just said is paramount, because there first needs to be a recognition that, for one, a problem exists, for two, that everybody sit around and long for yesterday. People who was alive in the 60s and who was my age now in the 60s wish things could go back to the 40s. People who was alive in the 80s wish it could go back to the 60s. People who was alive in the early 2000s wish things could be like how they was in the 80s. It is what it is. This thing called time, the way we perceive it with our human minds and observance, it seems to move in a linear direction. It only moves in one way. So with that being said, we can hold on to values, we can hold on to ideologies, we can hold on to culture and things of that nature. But reversing something once Pandora's box has been opened, I just don't see that. And sometimes people see me as being overwhelmingly pessimistic. That may be true, but I'm a realist. I see things for what they are rather than what I wish they were. And that's how I can try to make them be what I hope for them to be. But living in denial, that don't help myself or anybody else. So I agree with you, Miss April.
We have a problem, everybody. The youth today, I mean, I'm going to need these kids to take care of me, because I plan on living to be 100 years old. I
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
need these kids. They are all anxiety and they traumatized where they can't even take care of me. I mean, this is
Very
our
true.
future. And
Very true.
looking at this ain't no good way for these kids to be coming up with, with what they're seeing. This
Yes,
ain't
ma'am.
no way nobody should be living in fear like this.
Yes, ma'am. But you know another perspective on this, Miss April, that I think should be discussed if we're gonna have an honest and fair conversation. Unfortunately, societies don't deteriorate overnight. Cultures don't break down overnight. Norms and mores and social dynamics are not replaced overnight. This has been ongoing for at least the last 2 or 3 generations. It's been a breakdown. Now, I won't go into a conversation about all the caveats that help this come into fruition, but we can discuss some of the parts of it that are contributing factors to how we got where we at now. It's not just these kids. It's these kids' mamas and daddies, and it's
Oh
the
yeah.
mamas and daddies. This been going on for a long time. We didn't just wake up and find ourselves in 2023. We've been watching a consistent, very deliberate, and I'll even go as far to say very successful breakdown of societal norms. And here we are. So it ain't just the kids. The kids are the end result. The
Yeah.
people that are between 20 and 12 years old right now, this is the end result of a whole lot of contributing factors that got us to this end result, that got us to this point. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mary B. What's up, Mary? I
Hey,
tried to get
Mary
up here while you
B.
were still up here.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you, people learn how to control your emotions. Ain't none of us bad no more. There's somebody badder than us out here. And they will take
Always.
you out
Yes.
with the quickness. I ain't bad. And I ain't 19, I ain't 20. I'm 60 with ailments.
Yes, ma'am.
I ain't bad no more. I come in peace.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Uh, Learn how
And
to
it just ain't working.
control. control your emotion, learn to let some things go,
Mhm.
and you know, chill. Everybody got to learn how to chill. Everybody walking around so angry now, so mad. What are you mad about? Now,
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I done seen food prices high, gas prices high, trouble on jobs. I mean, it's been a revolving cycle. Like it's just everything is revolving around, but everybody's so angry. Wow. And
Yes,
if
ma'am.
you know somebody that's got some mental illness issues, please try to talk to them and make sure, uh, you know, they take their medicine and let them know that they are loved. Um, and it's not their fault, but we gotta address mental illness. And I want to say this too. We can pray about a lot of things or call out to whatever higher you believe in, but we do need, some people need medication. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
I don't disagree. I don't
yeah.
disagree. I don't disagree. I think that when you say mental health and when you say everybody's so angry, and I heard the comment when I was trying to come up, and you still had Mary B up here. I couldn't help but like my head kind of wheels start turning because I always think about physiological influences that are impacted from environment. Studies were done in the late 70s and early 80s from housing projects and developments that had been put up in the early 60s and over that whole decade, especially the 70s, with after the transformation of the Affordable Housing Act and equal housing and all of these things. So a whole lot of what we call today ghettos were put up, and they were actually housing projects and housing development. Many of these parts of infrastructure were developed and built with lead paint. There was a whole lead pipes, lead paint,
Yes.
lead.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who does a modicum of research can find out the impacts that these have on the human body over time from exposure. And a lot of what we consume in our food, a lot of what we breathe in our air, a lot of environmental contributors, they really do affect people differently, but they affect people psychologically. So I'm not saying that's an excuse, but it may not be a direct mental health. It ends up being a mental health issue, but a lot of this is really environmental. I don't want to use I'm on your channel, so I'm gonna respect it. I'm not trying to use words like poisoning or this or that, but you know what I'm saying. If you put a quarter of a milligram of I don't if you dilute cyanide and give it to me in the smallest micro dose possible for a month, what's gonna happen to my body over time? You know what I'm saying? Now you
Right.
might not end me right away, but before my organs start to fail, what is that gonna do to me psychologically? What is that gonna do to me mentally? How will I start to behave? Will I become weak and just lay in the bed? Will I become angry? Will I become lethargic? Like, what's gonna happen to me? Like, this is real stuff we actually living with, dealing with. How many microparticles? What we breathing every day? What are we
Right.
eating? I mean, there are, and this is not. And I'm gonna play it smooth because I'm on your channel, Miss April. But anybody can do a quick Google search. Look at the foods that are available in the U.S. that are not available in other countries, even some quote unquote third world or poor country. Like, we ain't eating that. We not finna give that to our population, to our citizens. But you can walk in any grocery store back in the States and eat as much of it as you want. And I'm not a health advocate, and this ain't health advice, just as a disclaimer. We just having a conversation.
Right. Yeah. Well, uh, now the word said it was built by design. And so it was when people say it was built by design, but when we know better, aren't we supposed to do better?
In a perfect world, in a perfect
Okay.
world. But at the same time, as April, you got one has to beg the question. If somebody would deliberately do that by design, and even when the other parts of the population may know better, and yes, they should do better. How many people right now in your daily life don't think like you or see the things you see because they're so inundated and just normal? It's just normal for them. You know what I'm saying? You walking around seeing a whole different, basically, concept of reality than people that you may deal with or interact with on a daily basis. They don't see what you see. They don't hear what you hear. They don't know about what you know about because it doesn't interest them. It's disinteresting. It's boring. It's down and out. It's not fun. Um, I love having fun, but at the same time, I'm a very serious man, and I'm capable of wearing both hats. You know what I'm saying? Some people, it's all fun and nothing all the time, and anytime you get into politics, geopolitics, anytime you talk about non-happy subjects, you start to talk about maternal birth rates, food, water quality, all of this stuff. People they tune you out, and I ain't mad at them. I'm over that part of it. I'm in the process. I'm in the learning process. That's like, I pretty much rock with people who on the same vibrational level that I'm at, and after that, more power to you. Peace.
Right. Yeah, I feel you on that. Uh-huh. Yeah, I feel you on that. Cause like I say, I see what's going on. I've been seeing it,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, you know, if it don't affect them, you know, they not bothered, you know. Uh,
Exactly. Exactly.
like, you know, my life is okay. Uh,
Right.
so yours should be okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I I'm traumatized just being a black woman in the United States, aka
I,
United States of
I
America.
believe it.
I
I
need to
believe
be
it.
sitting in a therapist chair every week myself.
Yes,
So,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
you know, just
I understand.
just with, uh, going on different jobs and you know having people not like you or you working two jobs and you know you able to still live decent and then they don't like you and all this other kind of stuff. Cause you what they think you the so-called made it and we all a paycheck away from being homeless. Uh,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
but
And
yeah,
that's something else that unfortunately is permeated and it persists very deeply within American culture, especially. Well, I mean, it exists within all American cultures, be it regardless of race. But when it comes to the degradation of character based on one's income, I find that just extremely unfortunate because, like you said, whether you 4 paychecks away and I'm 1, or whether you 5 paychecks away and I'm 2, a whole bunch of folks who out here stunting and flaunting, baby, they a check or 2 away from it all being over with. But it's built into the culture to look down on others as much as possible, to cap on others, to snap on others, to belittle and demean one another. And unbeknownst to many, a whole bunch of the population finna end up real close to each other, I haven't forgot. I mean, I still got videos with some stuff we haven't even touched on as much as we done talked about in 2020, 2021, right there with my home state of Texas, man. Folks down there in Houston, folks down there in Dallas, in bread lines in their cars, because you know the thing was going on, so people wasn't just out face to face, but food pantries running out of food before noon. And I'm talking about folks driving through food pantry lines in their Benzes, and driving through food pantry lines in their BMWs and Jaguars and stuff.
Well, they were giving us extra food stamps due to COVID, and they stopped it in the state of Illinois in March of this year, and they give me $20 in food stamps. And yes, I want my $20 in food stamps because I pay taxes. I want anything the government got. They took my money for 40-something years. And so,
Understood.
hey, I ain't got no problem with going to the food pantry. I ain't too proud. I ain't too proud. Yeah. I'm not too proud. I'll go stand in line anytime to get some free food. Yeah.
I understand, and they finna cut a whole lot more. They in fact, the cuts have already been made. They just haven't taken effect yet. So again, that's just like and I understand the reasoning why, because I've talked to people and they, you know, I don't like watching the news. The news is depressing, the news is this and that. That's true. I can't knock that. I'm not gonna say you lying. I can't call you a lie. But guess what else news is? The news informs you of what decisions them folks made about your life. So, you know, take that too.
And what do you think about this money situation they talking about? Like they running out of money. What's up with that?
Oh, you mean the cap, the ceiling?
Yeah.
A lot of it, Miss April, in my estimation, the best way that I could try to describe it is a lot of it is arbitrary because for the time being, and I do mean for the time being, the current state of affairs is that the U.S. is an entity that basically prints its own money. So this whole debate about the debt ceiling and debt cap and this and that, it's a big fallacious, theatrical conversation about an argument regarding how much we gonna print from an endless amount that we have the opportunity and luxury to print at the moment. At the moment. Now, see, that's the other part what people ain't talking about because that's getting ready to change soon too. But I wouldn't worry about that too much. It's just an opportunity to move money from this side of the aisle over to that side of the aisle to the back of the aisle and up to the front of the aisle. That's all it's about. It's semantics.
Well, I'm going to tell y'all something. Zeros become heroes. Don't never count nobody out. And
yes, right.
As African dreamers say, don't be turning your nose up because you think you got it so good. Because let me tell you, ain't none of these jobs secure. They don't want people to stay on jobs. They not trying to pay you. Well, they don't even have pensions anymore. 401k and all of that. So
yes, ma'am.
They, you know, you can be up one day and down the next, and I don't care who you are.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So
100%.
Yeah.
And Miss April, right now in 2023, over 30% of the estimated job market, and of course this is delayed by some time. Give it a few months, give it about a year and a half or whatever. Roughly 30% of employers are hired with some type of online job, and that might not seem like a lot because it's like, oh, we got a whole nother 70. So we still got people out here pouring concrete. We still got people doing construction. We got people driving trucks. We got people doing this and that. By 2050, and I think this is a very conservative estimation at the rate of acceleration right now. By 2050, over 50% of all the jobs that exist now will be handled and tasked out by automation. And when I say automation, yeah, I'm gonna say the R word. Robots, flat
Yeah,
out robots.
they have them.
And they got them, man. For the people who think that you good because you type 60, 70 some words a minute, baby, ChatGPT got something for you too. All of these chatbots, all these AIs got something for you too. So people can keep playing it smooth if they want to and think that, you know, I've arrived. I done reached this point and I'm good, and you know, maybe you should have went to college, or maybe you should have did this, or maybe you don't work hard enough. Just a whole bunch of finger pointing. You ain't as safe as you think you are. Be humble. Be real humble. Be real humble day in and day out. Thank whoever you acknowledge or worship for the blessings that came your way. And be real slow to judge and turn your nose up at other folk, baby, because it could be any of us at any given moment.
Any of us. I'm glad. I'm so thankful to still be living now, and I just let a lot of stuff go over my head. Like,
yes, ma'am.
I'm just thankful. Yeah, Patty, you right. We haven't arrived. Yeah,
that's right, Miss Patty.
We haven't arrived because we still don't own nothing. We still don't have nothing in our communities.
Yeah, Miss April, somebody, All Heart, Grit, and Grind said, right, it seems pensions are only unique to government/city workers nowadays. And I'm older, I'm showing my age now, but look here, Miss April, I remember when I was a teenager, I was literally just old enough to be legally working there, and they went ahead and let me take some of my tests and stuff. They let me start a little bit early, just to kind of summarize it. And so I remember dudes, and this is in the early 90s, but they had been working at some of these plants and stuff since the 70s. So they had been grandfathered in. Like some of these dudes had really been working there since, like, they got straight out of high school, went straight to the plant. They had been working there since like 1970, 1972, stuff like that. Those are the last people that I saw actually like retire from just a regular 9-to-5 manual labor type job. That don't exist no more.
Yes,
You ain't
sir,
finna work at no plant. You ain't finna work at no plant and get no pension and a watch and, you know, just go play with the grandkids and live out the rest of your life. Them days over with. They been gone.
And they don't care about you on them jobs. Go to work and do your job. Don't go to work to make friends. Them people don't care about you.
Or overachieve. You out there overachieve. And it took me time to figure that out too, unfortunately. You go to work trying to overachieve and go above and beyond and stuff, and you can go on that job and work yourself literally to the end of your days. And before your body get put in the ground and the pastor dump some water or say a prayer, they done already put it in the paper and got somebody else coming in Monday for orientation. And you done worked yourself into the grave on that job. It ain't that serious no more. And I'm a victim of it because I had that mindset. You know, when you younger and you in your profession, sometimes we tend to have that we can change the world mentality and all that. And now you got stars in your eyes, and then the world life whoop up on you a little bit and whoop some sense into you. And it's like, okay, I understand.
I get it now. Yeah, I get it now. And our parents made it seem. Our parents, they made it seem so easy. Good gracious, what?
Because the world was different back then. It was different. So, and you know something, and that's where I try to use a lot of nuance, Miss April, because I don't think it was unless you have a very keen mind and very observant and very honest, people tend to only teach what they know and they see it as absolute truth. The reason that a lot of our parents could make it look easy is because that was actually an option during the time that they were growing up. So people teach what they know. And that's why it's so important for young folks to listen to older people, to our elders. And it's important for elders to listen to the youth so we can learn from one another, because, you know, this ain't 1984 no more. It was 2023. This ain't 1983.
Mm-hmm.
What if you got kids and you trying to tell your kids how to conduct themselves and live in a world that was the world that used to exist back in 1983? And what about a kid that don't want to listen to no grown folks, and all they want to do is tell them what they know how the world is now? Well, yeah, that's true. That's your reality now. But I'm sure somebody who done lived a couple of seasons got some knowledge to tell you if you have an open heart and an open mind. So I'm just, Miss April, I'm not optimistic about the future before things get better. Will it be better eventually? Yeah, of course. But in the meantime, nah, I don't feel good about none of this. Real talk.
Well, neither do I, because you see families against families. People don't visit, they don't talk, they're not speaking. Some think they better than this. We don't want you over at this house. We don't want you to associate with them relatives. Like, where they do this stuff at?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, back then, back in the day, and I'm old enough to have existed when this was a circumstance. I think that those parts of family structure have always existed. With one, you know, you might have an uncle and an auntie who they got a little bit more money than everybody else. Sometimes they giving and helping, and sometimes they snooty and they bougie. That's always been there. But the thing that used to keep us together, and right now I'm gonna start out talking about black folk. With black folks culturally, with me being born in the 70s, I'm literally born just shy of well, let's say a decade or two, and some of y'all were actually alive. I mean, my own mother and my parents were literally born into a world where segregation still existed. My mom was a little girl when schools were integrated down in Texas. It happened at different points throughout different parts of the country. But when schools were integrated, my mama was a little girl. She talked about how traumatic that was. Same thing for my father. Lived through integration. I don't think the impact of that get talked about enough, but my bigger point is there was a collective interest in a community. Communities have been completely dismantled, and a lot of us tend to think on first view that, oh, it's just the black community because we seem to have it worse than most others. No, we did, in my opinion, we did have it worse than most others as far as our situation and circumstance in America. With that being said, when the social cohesion and that glue got broken after desegregation was fully implemented, it's not just us. It's in the Asian community. It's in the Native American community. It's in a whole bunch of communities where it got broken to strive to be able to incorporate and influence a way in to be a part of the greater society. When I say greater society, I'm not trying to pinpoint Caucasians or white people per se. I'm just saying you kind of proved yourself worthy if you managed a way via education or whatever means afforded you. If you worked your way into corporate America and then you could live in that neighborhood and you the first black, you know what I'm saying? It's been game over since then. Why work together? Why stick together? Why do this? Why do that? Why do that? When everybody had a side of town that they had to have their black behinds on the other side of the tracks, then you had black neighborhoods, you had black doctors, black pharmacists, black grocers, black farmers. You had all of this stuff, and now it's
And where are these people at now? Like, Where are they?
Gone, because there's no need for them.
Mm.
There's there's an incentive to prove yourself worthy to spend $8 every morning at the little artisanal shop on the corner versus buying that cup of coffee from old Mr. Butler, who used to have a small coffee shop back over in the hood. It is
Yeah.
that's the and Miss April, I say again, just like the other part of the conversation that we discussed earlier, this didn't happen overnight. Literally, what we're seeing right now in 2023 is decades on decades on decades of malfeasance and breakdown within uh, culture and society. And if people think it's just us, they wrong. It's not just the black community. It's no one specific community. The U.S. as a whole is starting to have certain breakdowns. And one way that any sociologist or I'll stick with sociologists, maybe even anthropologists, maybe an anthropologist would agree. When you see a breakdown in the collective binding bodies, what I mean by binding bodies, when we talk about influential facets of society, when I say, because there's a breakdown in church, it's a whole bunch of yeah, you still got some mega churches to have people piled in, but nothing like 30 or 40 years ago. So the church is breaking down. It don't have the same influence it used to have.
Right.
Government is not seen the way it used to be seen. It's having its own breakdown. The medical profession, people, there are people who used to just take a doctor at their word. If a doctor say, I mean, you could walk in there with pink eye and they tell you you got a broke ankle, you'll be like, okay, doctor, yeah, well, give me something for my ankle. Folks don't do that no more. Every major entity within the country that once held positions of irrefutable reverence don't hold those positions no more. Now, according to history, do you know what that means? That means a societal breakdown. It's not just one demographic. It's not just one race. Society as a whole. And that's what we're witnessing. So that may be too hard a pill for some people to swallow, but that's the
Well,
real,
that's
Miss
the
April.
truth. And social media, please stop. Social media is supposed to be used for good reasoning. Uh, why do you think people care about social media so much? I mean, like this, like why they grasp to it the way they have. Some people.
And well, I guess you would have to be more specific in what regard, but if I understand you, I think it's because for the same reason that you and I are having this conversation right now. For one, connectivity. For two, to be understood by a like-minded group of people. And for three, because it's here and it ain't going nowhere. How many people have landlines? Nobody got landlines no more, because
Oh
I can
no.
talk to Miss April over YouTube, or I can talk to Miss April
Right.
over via Instagram, because it's the future. So I think people place importance on it because this is it won't be this, one day, probably before I leave this earth, Lord willing, and you as well, Miss April, we'll look back at the methods of communication that we're using right now as antiquated and almost obsolete, because there will be so many advancements where if I want to talk to you, I could just virtually pull up a little hologram, and yeah, you could probably still hologram yourself off, but if I wanted to see you sitting in your chair or walking around your kitchen while we had this conversation, Miss April, that's already here. It just hadn't been introduced to the greater society yet. Some of
Oh
it's
yeah,
still
I
in
believe
beta,
that.
but it's here. So yeah, it's only gonna grow. It's only gonna become more intensive. People are already augmenting themselves with. I mean, basically, it's like real life cyborgs walking around right now. The implants are in beta. Uh, But who's to say by 2040, I can't push my left temple and make a phone call. Listen to me now, believe me later on. That's it. I don't argue with folks. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and if you disagree,
Right,
tell me
right.
where I'm lying, and I hear you out.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Miss April.
No, I'm just saying because I would have never thought I would be holding a phone in my hand or a tablet and watching TV and movies and everything. Don't even have to
Or
get out the bed.
or talking to somebody in Africa.
Right, right. Or
Right,
talking to
right.
somebody in Africa. Yeah.
And if we both turned our cameras on, we could see each other right now.
Oh yeah.
I didn't
I
think
I
it
ain't
was
trying to
possible
let
either.
y'all see. I don't have no wig on, nothing but gray hair today. Yeah.
We
I'm,
understand, Miss April. You all good.
yeah. Teeth ain't in. No. No. It's been cold here. Shoot, what's
Yes,
up with
ma'am.
this weather? What's up with this weather?
Well, I guess you gotta ask the people who manipulate it. I don't know.
Shoot, been freezing cold here. Snowing in April and May. And man, this is crazy.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
It ain't no telling what we gonna see before it's all over with. Ain't no telling
yeah,
what we gonna see. But
yeah.
Miss April, I gotta
Yeah,
run.
I thank you for coming up. This has been a great conversation. We started
Yes,
off,
ma'am.
talking about Facebook Live, the way people now, talk to the young kids, tell them, learn how to control their emotions and their tempers. Don't go to, don't, don't go to nobody's house. Because people will blow you away nowadays.
Oh yeah, it's real like that.
It's
I
real.
never understood that. That whole concept that came along after I was good and grown, but that whole concept of pull up or roll up or whatever young folks say, or I'm
Yeah,
outside and all that stuff. Look here,
yeah,
man. I'm from
yeah.
Texas. I've never not known everybody almost I know to have firearms. When I was a little boy, my uncles and them, my dad, man, folk we used to keep them on in the back of the pickup truck. You remember gun racks in the back of the truck, pickup trucks? I
Uh-huh.
know you from up north. I don't
Oh,
know if they
yeah.
did that up north. Okay. Well, down
Mm-hmm.
in Texas, every man in my family had one in the back of their truck. Now they might not have had them in there all the time, but that was just everyday life. Gun racks, sometimes two of them. Yeah, in the back
Mm-hmm.
window of your pickup truck. So this whole going over to folk house to fight them or doing that, I didn't catch the first part of the live. So peace and
Yeah,
blessings to
it was,
whoever family
in
has it.
Mississippi, they just had two women that started off arguing on Facebook Live, and they went to the woman's house. Then you had the woman
Yeah.
that deleted her husband on Facebook Live from Mississippi. I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
people what's going on in Mississippi. Is it in the water?
I
Uh,
don't know, Miss April. I don't know.
yeah. Is it in the water? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mississippi, that's where my parents come from. In that town of Tula, Mississippi, they need to take some gasoline, douse it, and burn the whole town down and rebuild it.
Stop it. Don't say it. Don't say that, Miss April. Don't say that, Miss April. had them folk coming messing with you. Don't say that.
No,
But
no.
but yeah, it's real out there. I just hope folk use their better judgment, use common sense, but common sense ain't common. And all we can do is hope for the best and take care of ourselves and our loved ones. And if you a praying person, stay prayed up. If you don't pray, then keep good energy. If you spiritual, then acknowledge the spirits and your ancestors and just keep it pushing, baby, because it's just the party just getting started. The party just getting started. It's gonna get a whole lot crazier before it get better. But Miss April, I gotta get out of here.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you
you so much. Hey, darling, don't forget Saturday at 5:30. Okay, who is that? Lord, what's Saturday at 5:30? Okay. Well, everybody, I thank African Dreaming for joining us. Um, I want to tell people, love yourself, love the people who the higher power done put in your life. Let's all start trying to help each other, look out for each other. Oh, yeah, Natalie. Oh, okay, yeah. I know the Mother's Day. Yeah, I'll be there. Uh-huh. Yeah. That's my minister from my church. She gonna be speaking. Uh, so, uh, you know, uh, learn calmness and learn peace. Learn peace. Cause people blowing you away now. Yeah. They blowing you away. Don't be going over to nobody's house. Um, try to squash it. Let people win. Hey, I ain't trying to argue with nobody no more. I will make my point, but all of that, I ain't bad. Shoot, I'm a woman with ailments now. Shoot. Mm-mm. Yeah. Everybody learn how to keep your emotions in control. Learn how to start counting to 10 and you know, just be calm. All of the bad people I know, they dead. You know, they've been deleted. Them two bad girls, they went over there. They gonna pull up on somebody's uh, house, and you see what happened. I want to thank African Dreaming and Mary B for coming up on the panel. And I want to, if you live in Joliet, contact me. My minister will be speaking this week. Lord, I'll be there. I'm gonna make it, Natalie. You know, this rain and this weather done had my body feeling some type of way, but I'll be there. I thank everybody for joining us today. I hope this conversation reach you in great spirits. We are a group of positive people that's on YouTube, and we just talking about everyday life issues. And I want to thank hey, Kalani Management. Oh, Kalani the guy. Kalani, he be showing them old Soul Train videos. He be taking me back. Yeah, Soul Train. Make sure y'all check him out. Patty's Southern Kitchen. Check her out. African Dreaming. Check him and his wife, April, out. Madam Oracle, check her out. Okay. And the Word, check him out. Third Eye Vision, check him out. All Heart Grit and Grind. Netfetti, Hazy, Cheesy, check out. Cooks with Love. Hold on, I'm gonna shout everybody out. All Heart Grit and Grind. I said Cooks with Love. Okay. The End of the Bench. Hey, that's my music friend. He's from Chicago. He does a lot of work in the community. Joshua, how you doing? Please check out Joshua. He likes to walk in place, and he's does nice drawings. Chilling with the realest Mary B. Thanks for coming up. Hold on, I want to make sure I shout everybody out. Guru and Wahoo the Turtle, Scarface, the end of the bench. I did say him. Hey, Purgatory Paul. I've got to go over to his show. Wow, cause they gonna have the coronation. I be all over in Purgatory Paul's show. We got friends over in London, so I'll be able to see this coronation. Hey, Letitia, how you doing? Y'all check out Letitia. Letitia does homeschooling, and I am so proud. Hey, Yaya's Best Life. And BMMDJ. Hey, the True Strong Warrior, OCOB, Rosewood Ty. And hey, Jessica T. Oh, hey, Finny TV Media, James Money. Yeah, but I want to leave y'all with this. Can y'all, let's learn how to control your emotions. We are dealing with a different group of people now. And I say this in love. Cause I plan on living to be 100. And I don't want nobody to blow me away. Like I say, people can win now. I ain't arguing with nobody. You can bump into me. I ain't gonna say nothing about didn't your mama teach you some manners and all of that stuff? I'ma just keep my lips shut and I'm gonna keep on moving. Hey, Michelle Jordan. And then I can't forget B Sparrow Talk. And then together we break the chains production. I know I have reached out to some people that we were trying to interview this past weekend. That wasn't a good weekend. You know, my mom died on 4/28, her birthday. And then this weather had been crazy here. So I haven't been feeling all of that great. Michelle Jordan, thanks for always giving me the encouragement. I know something else I wanted to talk about. Yeah. Thank you, madam. Yeah. And we will. Yeah, I talk about my life lessons, you know. Hey, I made a lot of mistakes, you know, even with parenting. You know, I made some mistakes, but it is what it is. I'm not perfect, you know. I tried to do my best as a daughter, a mother, a sibling. You know, all we can do is try our best. When we learn, when we know better, we try to do better. And that's all I want to do now. I just want to do the right thing in my life. And but did y'all know you got people like Brad Pitt that's running around talking about he's not taking a shower? So to save the environment, I'm like, are you serious? And also, y'all, we got the writers. They've gone on strike again. And so I don't know what's gonna happen with some of these shows. I want people to know everybody I connected with. I appreciate you. I know everybody might not like everybody, and that's fine. I do this from my heart. Um, I don't have no ill wills against anybody. Like I say, uh, I'm living my last days in peace. Whatever days I have left, yeah. And so, they're gonna be in peace. They're gonna be in peace. And I'm thankful. I still have my sister and my brother. Uh, and I'm just thankful. I'm thankful. I need everybody. Today is May 2nd. And today is like a hard day for Life with Marlene. Today is her mom's birthday. And my mom's birthday was May 1st, yesterday. My mother passed on 4/28. And then Mother's Day rolls around. And then, her birthday and then Mother's Day. So, we know our loved ones don't want to see us sad. But, we just miss them so much. So much. That's the picture of my mom and I. Yeah. And, yeah, that's the picture of my mom. She's been gone 9 years, and it just seems like it was yesterday. And so I can't wait for Mother's Day to be over with. And then it's like I can I stay normal, but if you lost somebody, you know how I feel. But keep Life with Marlene uplifted today as she goes through her mom's birthday today. Let's all try to do better. Let's become tolerant. Yeah, and Marlene also lost her brother on this same day. So she has two people to think about. And her brother is he passed away in Jamaica. So let's let's just think about these people, because I'm gonna tell you, all of us, and I say this with heart, all of us need to be sitting in some type of psychiatrist chair. We all been traumatized by something. But together we can be great. We can be great. YouTube has helped me because I was in therapy. And so this is what my therapist, told me. Hey, I'm not ashamed of anything in my past. It made me the person I am today, but I don't live there. Y'all live there. I don't live there. But let's all be supportive of each other. Even the young people, let's love on them. Basically they doing the same thing we did. You know, we used to drink, we used to party. Um, so the world just goes around. Let's learn how to communicate with them on their level as well. Um, well, okay, okay, and let's keep Terrence in our prayers as well. He's struggling. May 3rd is his mother's 7 years anniversary. He's having a hard time. So yeah, help these keep these people uplifted and just say a thought for them. I'm gonna tell you, grief. I can't even explain grief. I can't explain the emptiness um, of not having my parents. But I'm thankful that I had them for the years that I had them, because some people didn't have parents. But, you know, and they did the best they could. So, everybody, y'all have a great day. Uh, I thank y'all for joining me. Uh, Anger management. Let's stop walking around being so angry. Um, it's nobody's fault that the food prices are high. I don't control the food prices nor the gas prices. I'm sorry if you know you've lost a job. Um, Life does go on. Um, I got my minister friend, she was in here, and I'm thinking about maybe uh, trying to do some more shows. We used to have a support group where we met every week, and it was just us ladies that talked about, um, you know, the things that we experience, uh, you know, with being sick, like, you know, having lymphedema and you know, hair falling out, no teeth, don't want nobody to touch you, no breath, you know, just different things. So maybe we can start doing that. Uh, I want to try to get in touch with some ladies to have a ladies panel. Us women, we go through so much, and y'all men do too. Y'all men do too, because a lot is put on men. You know, you have to be, you know, head of the house. And, you know, you're supposed to be the man of the house. So men and women, you know, but equally, it could be a great union. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. Um, it's still chilly here, wet and damp. Shaky D been in full effect. And everybody have a great day.